to make sure that everybody meets our 2 new DAB members. So what we usually do at the beginning of the meeting is go around and have everyone say their name and what neighborhood they're from. But you guys maybe can give just a little bit more information, maybe like why you joined the DAB. So we'll start here with Melinda.
So I'm Melinda Kellogg. I'm from Orchard Park, and I joined the DAB. I've always so I was active duty Air Force, and now I am still in the International Guard. And then I have an MPH, so I've always served my community somehow. So just continuing my service to the community in a different way.
Thank you, Melinda.
Well, my name is Sergio Devora Natera. I'm also in the Air Force, active right now, and I'm from El Pueblo Neighborhood Association. The reason why I decided to join that is just to give back to the community. I've been in Wichita for many years now, and I've been doing some community work, but I think this is going to be a great impact for the community.
So thank both of you for joining us. So, all right, Linda will go on around. Give everybody.
Linda Matney with Lockwood Cedar Park neighborhood. Gregory Boracchi, Lockwood Cedar Park neighborhood. Lisa Larry Seamer, Indian Hills Riverbend.
Bill Longnecker, Sunflower. Sean Rojas, Indian Hills Riverbend.
And I'm Cindy Claycomb, Wichita City Council.
Hi, Ana Lopez, Community Service Representative for District 6.
Thank you all. All right, approval of the minutes. Any corrections, changes? I'd entertain a motion to approve.
I can make a motion to approve the minutes.
Thank you. Second, moved and seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. All right. Thank you very much. All right. Let's do police officers first.
Officer Nate Sweetall out of Patrol South, representing just the Old Town area, the downtown area for DAB 6. We talked to Officer Carlson, who's the beat coordinator for the area. He's not reporting too much, just that he has seen an increase in complaints of people thefts in their vehicle. And mainly, just I feel like we kind of talk about this once or twice a year, but just always to recap, make sure that when you're parking your vehicle, and this applies to anywhere in the city of Wichita, but especially in the downtown area, make sure, obviously you want to lock your doors, but also make sure that you're covering up items that people want to steal. What we see is thieves will go through parking lots. They don't just randomly break into a car. They're looking in windows and seeing items that they know the risk reward. They know if they break in that vehicle, they're going to get something that they want. You know, laptops, purses, things like that, wallets or anything laying around. That's what they're looking for. So get those covered up, put them in your trunk, lock them away. They have signs down there called "Hide It, Lock It, Lose It," and we just always want to try to promote doing that as well. So, in regards to our homeless outreach team, we're finishing up a special assignment in the downtown area. Going to look at some data and analyze that, and also the feedback we got from the community, whether it was good, bad, or indifferent. Probably report back on that later. The good news is we have finally got our 4th position filled, so we'll have another officer come in probably next week or 2. So that's going to help us out with our outreach and addressing some of these camping issues and everything like that. So other good news, me and the mayor are actually going to Washington, D.C. in 2 weeks. You noticed the president's been talking a lot about homelessness. He wanted to reach out to some communities that are doing some good things, and Wichita was selected as one of those. So we're going to be flying out there to talk. We're really interested in our drop in our chronic homeless population and also our unsheltered. Typically, University of the United States runs their homeless population, about 35% of those are unsheltered, sleeping on the streets with campsites. When we first started our hot team, we were running about 25%, which is still less, and now we're at 9.6% of unsheltered. So I think that was impressive results that they want us and our hot team to go out there and kind of talk about what we're doing here at Wichita. So that'll be exciting. I can report on that when I come back next month. So, do you have any questions?
Thank you. Thank you.
Are you allowed to ask questions of the officer at all?
Oh, I'm sorry, yes.
Officer, actually got something that ties directly into what you're talking about there.
Yes, sir.
We have been working in the Midtown area. This is at Cochran Mortuary. It's a lady that we had where she essentially walked into our chapel and everything during the middle of the service and everything. I had to get short with her, and suffice to say and everything, we had to escort her off the premises, and luckily we didn't have to call police. But later on in the evening, when we had a torrential rainstorm that day, this is where she came and camped out and everything. It's kind of, I mean, not only is it blight on the neighborhood and everything, but it affects our business as well. But are we doing any kind of outreach or any homeless outreach in the Midtown area as well?
We're citywide, and when I know about something, we go out and address it. Because it's the first time that we mean you spoke.
Yeah.
And so what I do is I'll get the address down, and then we have a list of addresses and complaints that people call in, and we address every single one of them. Everybody's situation is different. This is private property. It's going to be more of like a trespass. So we're going to go out there. I'm going to connect her to some resources, but we're also.
So that's what we want. We don't want her in trouble. I want her
Yeah.
to get the help she needs, and she's obviously mentally ill. So.
Okay, so so we have another unit that comes out. It's ICT one that comes out. They have social workers and also psychologists that come out and address those really tough ones. If not, we'll transport or take her to Comcare or get her to the places that she needs to go. And that's normally what we do, to go out there and assess the situation. Right. To figure out, is it drugs, is it mental illness, is it just someone bad luck, and then we figure out a solution. So what address is this?
This is at 1411 North Broadway.
North Broadway. Okay. And is she still there? Or?
No, negative. She's not. That was last week and everything. But I just, case in point, I can just show this to all you guys so you can take a look at it, please.
So, Officer Nate, do you want to, can you give him the hot scene number?
Here's our phone number.
That way.
It is not an emergency line. If she's there and you want someone out immediately, call 911.
Yeah.
And you also can get out there and then
Right,
they
so you're
can,
getting-
and get her help, and then they'll just give her a verbal trespass, which is just a warning at first. You can call us, leave a message. If we don't call back, then in a few minutes, then we call 911. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
Negative.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Officer Williams.
I'm Officer Williams, late fill in, but still in the one, so good enough. As far as things going on West Side, we just had a few robberies that went on at the Family Dollar stores. I don't know if you heard about those, but we had a male who was coming in basically armed, robbed 3 different stores, had no intention on stopping. We ended up catching him and getting him into custody, so he's now in jail. Located the vehicle and everything. But not to piggyback off of what Nate was talking about, even on 15 feet out west, which is where I ride over to Orchard Park, we don't have so much problems with Part 1 crimes, which are the homicides, rapes, robberies, aggravated assaults, nothing like that. Our biggest issue is the larceny from autos, the larceny in general, people breaking into cars, open garage doors. And just like you said, you know, we have the signs that we put out that actually say that we need to keep our things out of sight. That's basically what's driving a lot of the crime on the west side of town right now. That is our biggest issue. I can't tell you how many neighborhoods on flyer just to say, you know, lock your doors, please. Because what ends up happening is that we have individuals who are, you know, I always lose my words on this one, but they commit crimes just because it was there. You know, so they'll walk through your neighborhood, check your car doors, and when they find one open, they steal something. Keep on going down there, and I guarantee you, even though you may lock your doors, probably about 5 of your neighbors won't. And that'll keep them coming back religiously to break into the cars. Because eventually you're gonna forget to lock yours and they'll get something out of yours. Happens all the time. So we ask that everybody lock their doors. You know, if it means something to you, don't leave it outside. You know, I know that we like to use lawnmowers and then just like put them on the side of the house or tuck them in behind the house, but the biggest problem with that is that they have wheels on them. They roll away. You know, you paid $150 for it, at least find a way to lock it up. Other than that, just having a good time on West Side. Anybody have any questions?
Questions for Officer?
Okay, go Chiefs.
Thank you. Officer Tondo.
Hello, I'm Officer Atondo. I'm the beat coordinator for this area. Officer Gerald has been promoted and has moved on downtown as a detective, and he is directly south of here, south of 25th Street. So I didn't really have a lot of stats for him. I know we've been having a lot of auto thefts on both of our beats, my beat and his beat both. I can kind of speak for mine. Mine has been more related to a couple houses that I have in the area that a lot of not drug trafficking, just meth associated folks that just kind of hang out there. More flop houses, and you can imagine what comes with that. So we're working on trying to get them evicted out, and one of them has been really hard to work on. But a lot of the auto thefts are coming from around there, and the folks that hang out there are known car thieves, and they scrap out the cars. They'll even strip the wires out for just the metal, the copper, and they'll sell it. I noticed that here recently we've been kind of restricted on going and checking in with the metal buyers. There were some state laws where we weren't able to really follow up on that, and that has changing, and there has been a detective that has figured out where a lot of our catalytic converters and some wires that are kind of unique that get stolen have been going. So hopefully we'll get somewhere on that. I had a shooting on me just up the street here last Monday, Tuesday, in the 300 block of West 27. The house got shot up about 20 times. 11-year-old boy got some shrapnel in his back from one of the rounds. The suspects are in custody. They are gang related, but they apparently shot up the wrong house. They thought somebody else was there. So we'll get that wrapped up. I'm going to have an impact meeting on that Wednesday at 5:30 if anybody cares to join us. So let's see. And then I'm having a career fair coming up on the 23rd here at Cloud. I'm going to have different emergency vehicles from the city there, some of the police motorcycles, and also the horses will be there. This is going to be for the younger kids that come out. We hand out stickers to them. It's pretty fun for all of them. Officers up north have been involved with the Hoops for Literacy campaign that's been going on for the last month or so. We've been to several schools reading to third graders. So we have that going on. I'll be moving out west.
I heard that.
I know. The 19th will be my last day up here.
Wow.
So I'll be out west working with Officer.
So will you be in District 5 or District 6?
What district is?
There's gonna be some switching around going.
Okay.
So once everything gets all said and done, whenever they get done talking about the new bureau that goes on, there's gonna be several open beats, which one of them is here.
Yeah.
So was it something we did?
Yeah, I know.
No, something like that. We're just, I don't know how to say it.
You don't know very many words.
We're just holding positions so that we can get our manpower down for right now, and then once we get our manpower back up, we're gonna fill the rest of our positions. But he'll have the opportunity to be able to work in one of the beats that actually comes over to this area.
Okay.
Will I really? So I can come back here?
Yeah, 11 beats.
Maybe I'll be back. I don't know.
Just a different beat.
But that's all I have. Yes.
I have one more thing to add. We did have a shooting today, unfortunately, over on North Hoover. Once we got there, we had an individual who was basically running around with his shirt off. Figured out that he had basically ditched his own gun and he was firing straight up into the air. Made references to being upset with Ronald Reagan. True story. So we ended up getting him into custody, getting held by ComCare, and then getting him arrested so that we could take his gun away from him. But he is a local from around the area.
What 100 blocks?
500 block.
20?
500 block.
500 block.
North Hoover.
Thank you.
So we'll probably do an impact meeting at some point just to kind of talk about that, because like I said, it was somebody from around the area. At this point, with him not being charged with a felony, we can't tell him he can't own any weapons right now until he does something bad enough. But the one that we do have the crime on right now, he's not giving that one back.
Okay.
But that did happen today. Sometimes you just can't make the stuff up.
So what was he, a laid off air traffic controller from that area?
It was, I don't know what was going on, but there were some definite mental issues there. Like I said, took him to ComCare. and then ended up arresting him for his efforts. But yeah, I don't know why he was so upset with everything. You know, there's other parts of the case that I could say, but I'll probably get in trouble, so I don't.
Okay.
Where
Kathy?
are these impact meetings held?
Usually they're held right in that neighborhood. So if you've never had one, then, you know, you've never had anything like bad happen in your neighborhood, which is like basically like a search warrant.
What is the acronym for impact?
Oh,
It's
you're
good if you don't
cheating.
have one. They told them in the middle of the street.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So,
But I could walk up on one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
anyone wants.
so if we went and knocked on all the doors on that one neighborhood, we'd go and pull everybody out, probably about,
We don't pull
But-
it, we ask.
we ask if they want to come and talk to us.
Want to come?
They're
You know,
invited.
so it's about 5:30, 6 o'clock, and then we have everybody come outside, and we all talk about everything we can about what's going on, and what's going on with the investigation, so that you're informed, and you're not just like in the blue, like the police just came here one night, and then they were just gone. You know, nobody said anything, it was a safe.
Yeah.
You know, so
We
these
have
are
a lot
all,
of sightings.
yeah, so these are all the questions that we answered.
And then a lot of the times they'll give out additional information that they didn't want to talk about, or they'll bring up other issues that we document. Oh, there's traffic, blah, 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 or there's a house in the street, blah, blah, blah. So they'll bring up a lot of information in that area.
Well, thank you for that explanation.
I have a question for the impact meeting we're having on Wednesday at 5:30. Where is that going to be?
300 West 27th. I will be there, 5:30.
Another question, the career fair for kids at the cloud.
That'll be on the 23rd.
For the third
Mhm.
time.
And it'll be at 12 to 2, I believe.
Thank you so much.
Any questions for police?
How's he like in your?
He didn't even go to the hospital. He got a little shrapnel in his back. Apparently the gangster that got his house shot up, and he had gotten rumor that the guys up the street shot his house up about a year ago, and it was not. It was a bunch of kids and family that lived in the house. So 2 suspects lined up and just emptied on the house, and luckily no one was killed. So
And it's really lucky, right?
there was over 20 holes inside the house.
With 4 kids and a
Yeah.
mom, right?
We had another drive-by by Cloud Elementary like last week, 2 weeks ago.
Where, do you know where?
Burns.
On Burns? Gosh, I don't know. That might have happened 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago.
Because I think Officer Gerald was working on it.
Yeah, that was
Followed
2
up
weeks
on
ago.
it. I recall that a little bit.
Yeah, that's the second time that house is
Yeah,
getting shot.
I don't know what the circumstances are of that one.
Looking into it.
Any other questions? Thank you very much.
I'll let you go about that. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you all.
Thank you. Thank you.
Fire.
Evening, I am Lieutenant Mundell from Station 7 down at 21st and Coolidge. Currently, we're about 60,000 alarms for the year so far, a little bit over 60,000. For District 6, we had 20 different fire alarms in the district, 79 calls for service, and then 488 medical alarms in that time period last month. There was 2 fires that were investigated by the Fire Investigation Unit. One was at 3600 West Central, and I believe that was a vacant house. That fire was set on the front porch and got into the house. And then another one at 2900 North Fairview, which caused about $25,000 damage, and that was due to a breaker box in the house. This week is currently Fire Prevention Week, so we're pretty busy going out to schools and daycares and having tours come to the stations and all kinds of stuff going on this week. We're hitting real heavy on practicing or making and practicing the fire escape plan from your residents. So especially if you have children, make sure you go over that with your children in your house, practice it. Weather's starting to get cooler, so we're hitting big on making sure you get your heaters, fireplaces, chimneys, and things like that checked by a professional. If you have any space heaters, make sure you have good clearance around them. You're not too close to combustibles, or they're gonna ignite. And then smoke detectors. November 2nd, I believe, is when time changes. November 3rd. Time changes, and that's usually when we recommend that you change the batteries in your smoke detectors if they have them. make sure you test them and practice all your fire escape stuff then too. So, you have any questions? To the fire department?
Any from the audience?
Okay.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Appreciate you coming.
Yep.
All right. Okay, public agenda. Anybody here to speak on an item that's not on our agenda? Nope. Okay, good. All right. Just some processes and procedures before we start on the zoning case. If you want to address the board about the zoning case tonight, you can come to the front and address the board. State your name, please. My role is to listen. I don't vote. These folks vote. And if you you might hear some reference to the golden rules. If you ever want to see what those are, we have these up here on our tables. They are the rules that the DAB uses when they're making their decision on how they vote. We are on Facebook Live, so just want to let you know that when you come up to the front. So Kathy's ready to present our first case, our only case.
Good evening. This is a zone change from single-family residential to two-family residential. Just to give you a basic idea, single-family residential requires lots be a minimum of 5,000 square feet. Two-family residential requires lots be a minimum of 6,000 feet, and a duplex is defined as two living units under one roof. So as part of the new infill strategies that the city of Wichita is looking at, and this is not new to this district area, District 6, is we have vacant lots that may be zoned single family, and what we're seeing is that developers or property owners are coming in and requesting duplex zoning so that that vacant lot then becomes a livable space, which helps the overall neighborhood. So it's not uncommon that the planning department would support a change from single family residential to two-family residential. And this is located over on North Sheridan, 1056 North Sheridan. So it's 3 blocks south of 13th Street. And it is a vacant lot. No, it's not. It's got a very small house that sits probably at least 50 feet back from the front property line. And so the property owner has done several of these zone changes in District 6. You've seen me here before on this type of thing. And so there's duplex zoning on the north side of 10th Street, just north of this property. There's some other scattered duplexes in the neighborhood, and so staff is recommending that the zone change from single-family residential to two-family be approved. And I will answer any questions. Yes,
Is there
sir.
a situation where you don't approve that? What would be
Well, one of the things that we like to make sure that there's no impact on on-street parking. They have to provide off-street parking. The trash pickup, sometimes they'll create they have to provide that on site too. They have to have paved parking spaces. So generally, it's just if the neighborhood would come and make some kind of strong opposition to the zone change for, I don't know, it might be still on one of our gravel unimproved roads. This happens to be, Sheridan is an improved local road. So neighborhood road, so I don't know that I've ever been involved in making a denial to, for a zone change to TF3. Normally, what happens is we talk to these property owners before they get into that final application phase where they're putting their money on the table to do the zone change so that we can make certain that any issues, drainage, access by fire department, that type of thing are taken care of before it gets to the point where it's the public hearing at the planning commission.
I think that's why they appear, that staff always recommends them, because we would generally not see one, a developer wouldn't take it any further if, until they got all that worked out.
Right.
That's what you see. So, that's a good question.
Yes, Mr. Longneck.
Well, okay, we've got an 11,800 square foot lot, which is 2,000 square foot, 12,000 square feet. So in theory, the applicant could make an application for an administrative adjustment, which would reduce the lot area by 10%, which would allow, in this case, allow him to put in another two duplexes, which you can stack in behind each other.
Right.
So he's really, I mean, and duplexes are like single family SF5, they both consider a moderate density residential development before you jump up to your higher density multifamily or your less dense, which would be county type zoning.
Right. So what would happen in this case is that because they would have two duplexes on one lot, they would have to also do a conditional use for multifamily as well as request the 10% reduction in the lot size.
So this is only one lot.
This is one lot.
Okay.
This is, yes, this is one lot. So, I mean, he could come back and do that, but it would go through a conditional use process, which is then another public hearing process. The 10% reduction in the lot size could be handled with an administrative adjustment, but that wouldn't be addressed unless the property owner came back and filed a conditional use.
Which is unlikely.
Right, that's correct.
Other questions?
First question, is the existing structure going to be removed from the property?
Yes, yes, it will be. If you've been by there, it's probably 800 square feet maximum. And when I go out and look at these properties, I can only look at them from the street. So I don't know really what kind of condition.
But if that, they don't necessarily have to stay to it, but for a duplex to be put on there, that has to be.
Right,
Okay.
that would be correct, yes.
Second question, since that is right at the end of 10th Street,
right,
and that portion of 10th Street is unpaved,
Mhm.
would that piece of property fall into the category if there was a petition to pave 10th Street, that would be a part of the petition because of its location?
No, it would be the properties on the north and south side of 10th Street,
Nothing across.
but nothing on Sheridan.
Thank you.
And I think 10th Street makes a dog leg there.
Yeah.
And I think the other part of 10th Street north of this subject property is also unpaved. But it would be the properties that actually face the street that would go through the petition process.
Thank you.
Anything else from the board?
Just out of curiosity, I couldn't tell for sure. It looked like there's two driveways going into there, but because of the
Right.
lack of division, I wasn't sure if they both did, if they both stayed.
I think that the driveway, as the way I understand it, the driveway into this property would be on the south side. Yeah, I guess they could put a circle drive in there, but it's the existing drive right now is on the south property line.
Right. Anybody from the audience wish to ask questions? Okay, I'll bring it back to the board for more discussion or motion.
Move to approve.
Moved and seconded to approve the zoning case. Any other questions or comments? All in favor, please say aye. All opposed, same sign.
Good night. I want to remind everybody that this case is going to be heard at the Planning Commission meeting on October the 10th. It begins at 1:30 p.m.
Thank you, Kathy. All right. Issues of concern? Anything from DAB members? Neighborhood reports? Anything going on in your neighborhoods we ought to know about? And I don't have any updates except that our next DAB meeting is November 4th. We, this month, do not have a mid-month meeting. This is the first time in 2 or 3 months, so enjoy your Wednesday off. So I believe we are adjourned. Thank you all.